And we will move into Nuke after a solid G2 victory on Inferno. They look very strong indeed. There's a lot for Heroic to do here. Can they do it though, is the question for you, that I have for you, Mr. Maui Snake.
We'll have to see. Alan put it that Cadian needs to flex his balls of steel, and we'll see if he does just that. Early engagement towards outside. A tag onto Cadian takes him down to 42 HP. And he's finding some information here, but it is actually an A play. G2 are set up for a full retake at this point. The bomb will be going down. And there is 2 smokes on the side of G2.
Where's that TSS Molly going? Well, there's my answer. And there will be a delay in the proceedings from G2 after they show parts of their hand. 3 players up top. And in they go. The awkward engagements begin. The trades will go in favor of no one. 3 versus 3, make it 2. That bomb's pretty far ticked though. And no one alive has a kit. Jax has just picked one up. TSS alone now. They need a body blast. It will be 2. Nico delivers a massive headshot. And Jax has got time to defuse the bombs. That's a very strong start for G2. Having won Inferno, they start on the CT side of Nuke and they win the pistol. The first test has been passed by G2. We'll see if Heroic choose to force buy.
Did you see that decoy that went in? They used it like a flash, G2. They threw a decoy where you would normally throw a flash for the entry there, and the player that was beneath Heaven actually looked at the ground and never had a chance to even shoot. He was fooled. He was bamboozled. People don't buy decoys on pistol rounds, but you can see the value in one right there.
Yeah, we don't see enough fake flashbangs with decoys at the moment. Definitely something to consider, especially when you're a little low on money. Just use a flash and swing in before it. Maybe it'll get you where you need to be, as it did for G2. And we got real flashes for Heroic to take the ramp at the very least. Refresh cut to pieces. This is an eco round, not the force buy that we're seeing from Heroic. And they've got themselves a chance to potentially plant the bomb. Armanek will have a scout shot and get out of dodge. Not going to outstay his welcome. He'll just disappear like the Batman.
Oh!
Maybe not.
Tessus finds him, the Joker, perhaps. Now Jax makes his way into the ramp room, finds Cadian and Heroic. They're being picked apart on this round, but they still are holding some interesting position towards Heaven. Does feel like G2 is aware of this, though. Although Nico, he'll take the contest and down. Beautiful headshot onto Nico. There's an opportunity now for Heroic in this round. They have some space, they have some time, and G2's positions, unbeknownst to the players on Heroic, will have to try to make do. As Shush makes his way back to the ramp room. 30 seconds left. Heroic, they're really letting this clock bleed out, though.
Yeah, they're really drying out G2, making them use all their utility and trying to do as much damage as possible, it seems. The bomb's been lost, so there will be no bomb plant. It seems that there was a big focus on getting as many kills as possible in this round.
Yeah, there's been decent damage. Stown can take this M4 into the upcoming round. And he was going to be buying next round anyways, given that Heroic were not investing too much into this. So this is actually not too bad. He actually would have only gained $2,400, and that M4 A1S being worth $2,900, he actually comes out ahead. So not a bad round for Heroic. Probably would have liked to do a little bit more damage, but they do actually make a little bit of money by taking that gun away from G2.
Into round 3 we go. The AKs and the M4 are out. So G2, I wonder about their chances here. They haven't upgraded their weapons, but they've got plenty of utility. See how they choose to approach it. Close range weapons with the double MP9s. Armanek fishing with the scout outside. Fadeaway flashbang, easily avoided. Wonder if we'll see a slow nuke as we did a slow Inferno. Waiting out the initial utility are Heroic. You can see Refresh behind main. CT's got to be real careful about where they stand on the A bomb site. Around that blue box, very, very dangerous. We'll see so much spray there, I'm sure. Minute on the clock for Heroic.
Yeah, Heroic taking a lot of space towards outside. That should probably tell G2 that it's their time and turn to take lobby, but Omnic does fall before the lobby crunch comes in. Stown here on the lobby lurk will hold for a push, as he knows that this is the likely reaction from G2 as they lose that space towards outside, but he isn't gifted anything just yet. Tessis and Shush, they look to wrap ramp at this point, but Nex is in an interesting position. Don't usually see a player behind this box when you're wrapping, and he might be set up for a multi-frag. There's one, almost a second, but Shush survives with 29 HP still. Stown is actually reading rotations, though, towards lower, but he's not able to find any kills. But will it matter? The bomb is down. 10 seconds remain. This has gotten way too close. And now Refresh, he might have to fight himself out of the situation. Nico takes down the bomb, and Stown on the flank. 5 seconds left. He's able to win it, and Heroic are able to accomplish their first round.
Oh my god, what a god flank there from Storm. Both players stuck in decon. And indeed, it will be the long rounds, it looks like. It's really nervous territory for both squads now. That's a huge impact to the economy of G2. Thought they were a lot for that round towards the end there, but apparently not. Storm with ideas of his own. That second kill. G2 unable to respond in time. We have a timeout from G2 at present. Nothing has been bought just yet, so we'll see what they choose to bring into round number 4. But it was looking good with that consecutive round one, but the third one, they'll be denied by Heroic. And again, we're playing with the non-upgraded weapons, with CDM4 out for Hunter. The Scout again for Omnic.
We're seeing Nico talk a lot in this timeout, actually. It looks like the rest of the G2 players were just listening to what he was saying. And Launders talked about Nico in the pregame, how he has a lot of responsibility on this map. Generally, the sole player towards outside for G2. He has to find a lot of info by himself. He has to take a lot of duels by himself. And last time around, it was actually Omnic that went for the challenge. So can expect that Nico will probably play a more vital role in the outside defense, the outer yard space, for G2 moving forward.
Minute 30 and grenades are lined up by Heroic outside. No incendiaries for G2 at this point. G2 themselves with 2 smoke grenades. Apart from that, the weapons are the main focus. Heroic now threatening to pinch the A bomb site. There are 4 players waiting for them though, so this could be a huge problem. You can see Jax with a slice off angle, Hunter hiding in plain sight as well. And this is collapsing for Heroic. Weapons are going to be collected by G2. That is quite a brutal turnaround. They leave round 4 with 3 AK-47s in hand.
Wow, great read by G2 there. Just to stack that A site, they lost control towards outside. At least 3 players were towards that A bomb site. And G2 just hit all of their shots. Impressive display of skill from the players on that defense. Now, Heroic, they're on the back foot at this point. They don't have anything to purchase up with. A single P250 on Cadian as he looks to find something on top of Twinkie here. This might be a fast wrap. He actually might be able to catch Nico off guard. He does. Great kill from Cadian, but will they be able to find anything else? Somehow a Glock kill for Shush, but oh wow, Omnic, that's a call out right there. That was a nice wallbang.
Yeah, I mean that started out pretty bad for G2, but only losing 2 players in the end, not too shabby. Heroic, though, with some good damage there, and the AKs will come out once again. 1 round from 5 at present. Now they're back on the next buy, and G2 are in a much stronger position. No MP9s, no more scouts. The real guns are out for both squads, finally, in round number 6. 5 AKs on road for Heroic. They've got good utility as well. See what the initial offerings are from both squads. Looks like Squeaky has been blown off, and Cadian will be deleted by a blind Nico. Holding down position for now, smoking a choke point. Continues to spray in case anybody else wants to go fishing. Some grenades very deep into lobby. Again, this is a common position, especially when you're the man holding lobby down while your team work elsewhere. Likely to be standing there. Gives you the option to fall back if you are pinched by an aggressive CT side. Minute 20 now as Heroic lies towards the ramp.
Nexa holding a really strong off angle, especially with an AK here. Could be good for 1, but decides to fall off. Doesn't want to take the challenge. Preserves his life in the 5v4. Good fundamental Counter-Strike coming out from Nexa. And he'll give that space up to Heroic, knowing that it's all right. That even if Heroic have this space, it's not a bomb site. There's nothing to worry about. The rotation is already in from Nico, who's also towards lower, and Amanek, there's a chance he gets caught by this timing. Refresh has been really looking sharp lately for Heroic, so he's going to be instrumental in the late round here. But maybe the defense towards lower is enough. Maybe G2 doesn't need anything else. But Hunter has a feeling. He knows that Refresh is going to be going for a play like this. That is also a very strong play from him. And now the play is finally coming out towards lower. Heroic have lost their outside player, but Nexus in a prime position to stop this. Pulls out the molly. Stound's able to find the trade. 15 seconds remain. They have to get the bomb down, but the pressure is still on. Tessis taps the bomb. The swing comes out, and G2 have swarmed the bomb site already, and they find their 5th round.
3 rounds in a row for G2. Stopping the bomb plants will be crucial for them as they press on in their CT half. As for Heroic, their money is somewhat broken once again, $3,000 to $3,500 on average. In the opening frag from Nico. He had the lineup before the flash came in. So again, just being in the right place, putting himself in a position to succeed, he will do exactly that with that opening kill. Desert Eagles and some utility for Heroic. That smoke outside from Nico could mean that a CT could be by the T-red position, which is something Heroic have to look out for. You can see Refresh looking in the forward angles, but it would be very risky in a round such as this for G2 to put a rifle so close to a pistol. Ideally, you want range between you and your opponent, so if something does happen, they can't pick up a weapon. And that may be the case here with Amanek towards the ramp. You can see Storm's being dropped. Speaking of being dropped, Refresh with some nice map control outside will remove Nex's eyes from the information for G2. But again, the gun's in heaven. Heroic now threatening to go towards B bomb site, trying to pull rotation. That rifle is collected. We still have players on the A bomb site, as we can see. Hunter is by the CT vents, and Jax is in a forward position in lobby, trying to stop a split of the A bomb site, if you will. Bombs being thrown off the balcony. Not sure if anyone's close enough to hear that, but Heroic don't know that.
Great timing on this molly. Looks like Heroic were setting up a flash play with Shush throwing what is normally a retake flash into the A site. That's going to be setting up Cadian and Tessis. He still has it primed and ready. And Hunter dodges the flash, spins around, but Cadian, is that mid-air? Takes down Hunter. Now Jax falls at the hut position, and now Nico, trying to recover the situation, does know that Refresh is here, so that's going to be a freebie. 3v2 situation, though, and these players are in great position, but Nico's hitting even better shots. Cadian falls, and it seems like Nico knows that there's a player here at the opposite vent, too. Great kill onto Shush. Tessis falls into hut, and Amanek with an op, but no kit. He has to work quickly, but he does find a kit. So Tessis, he's looking for his time to strike, trying to bait out a shot, and Amanek, he's sticking it. He has won this round. There's no hope for Tessis here, and Amanek adds insult to injury as he takes him down as well.
They're holding. It was an expensive round for G2. Dangerous round from Heroic. A lot of damage done, and again, they have to do more than that. They've got to try and break G2, put them into eco territory. Nice headshot from Refresh. Cadian with his best get-right impression. Falling from the sky. 4 AKs and the AWP for Cadian now. The buy gets a little better. 3 of the 4 riflers on G2 with silenced M4s. Always worth noting. We can see Nico in the vents now with the gun out rather than the knife, as we see on occasion, but he is higher up, of course. And there's Hunter from the CT vent. Nico trying to make his way through the smoke, but Hunter will do their work in the meantime, and Shush will exchange places with Nico somehow, carrying the bomb as well. Not sure if that would have been on the radar or what. Smokes and flashes, pretty crazy situation. It's open decon now, and he better get moving quickly, but does need his teammates to help him hold as well. Both still on the high ground. You can see Refresh creeping. Once it gets to the edge, his shadow will be showing. Little tease. Shows a bit of elbow for Amanek, but not too much. And so many players still on this A bomb site. Cadian holding angles towards the vent, but now there's no one to defend the B bomb site. Misses the swing, and he can't pursue this, surely. 1 versus 4. Needs to hold on to the AWP here. Perhaps hiding in plain sight. It will be a 7th round for G2.
This was a really disconnected round from Heroic, where there were a couple of players running through the squeaky door smoke onto the A bomb site. There was a drop from Shush as he was able to plant that bomb towards lower. Refresh was still towards outside, and Cadian was towards lobby. And this could have worked for Heroic. There were a couple of key moments where there was an opportunity, and this Refresh one was critical for G2 in that he only found the one, that there was an immediate trade frag, because if he found a kill and made it out of there alive, this could have been a really hectic retake for G2, but no, G2 are able to calm the situation down, and they have felt really in control other than that third round, which they lost.
An early pick again from Nico. Inside and outside, he's proving to be an issue for Heroic that they may not have a solution for. Nico 11 kills now, top of the leaderboard in terms of kills. So it will be a 4 versus 5 for Heroic very early on. You can see them making their way downstairs, and guess who? It's Nico again, half health, but that might be enough. The smoke is very well timed. Very well timed indeed. Oh, the timing. I think Refresh is going through it, and he's ready for it. An instant shot from Nico straight in the dome. The bomb's dropped as well. While he holds down the low area, there's aggression from G2 up top, taking the game away from Heroic, leaving Cadian with very limited options. 1 versus 5. He has a minute on the clock and 4 more players to catch. Look at them reposition immediately. This is a problem when you're the only man alive. As soon as you're spotted, there's aggressive repositions. Armanek just teasing from heaven, having a look-see. Very fast shot from him. Another round in the bag for G2. This is a problematic half for Heroic so far.
Yeah, they don't have the answers. Heroic will call a timeout here. You can see that Nico is fired up right now. He's been in the right place at the right time repeatedly. He has a great read on Heroic. So whether it's demo work or intuition right now, probably a combination of both for Nico, it's all paying off for him. You can see that the Heroic camp is somewhat deflated right now in their chairs, and it felt desperate in the last round. You could see that players were walking out one by one in multiple positions at once, and that's a sign of a team that doesn't really have a plan B in these kinds of situations, that they're too split up, that they aren't focusing on one goal. But the thing is that when they're working together, when they're trying to execute a position at the same time, G2 has been stopping it right in its tracks. Nothing has been working for Heroic thus far.
G2 now looking for their 7th round in a row. Fast grenades outside from Heroic. Now, if they could avoid losing a man early, that would be a good start, as Nico has caused them issues in multiple rounds now with early frags. So we have a wall of smoke outside, and G2 are uncertain as to whether or not anyone's behind it. You can see Nico repositioning, heading towards Secret. Hunter again by CT Vent, a position of comfort for him on the A-bomb site. Heroic waiting out the initial grenades. And it seems offering some presence maybe towards B. It could be an A strike.
Just the single mini smoke, but oh, wow, Hunter with that timing takes down 2. That's the bomb as well. Now G2 have a great idea about what's happening in this round. Jax with a little bit of pressure towards Hut is able to stay alive for a very long time, but Shush has finally cracked open this site, or so Heroic think. Do they suspect Nexa behind the silos at this point? It seems unlikely. He has been so patient in this round thus far. Will he be able to reap the rewards because of it? He does take down Cadian, looks for more, but Shush is quick on the trade.
Here's Armanek, just lurking slowly with the AWP. Shush unable to respond. Nico has the time now. Not sure if he got a sound cue there the way he was turning, but he will be elevating his position. And Armanek's holding angles, and Stone could be in trouble here. Utility distraction being run by Armanek. Oh, just he stops looking for this second player. Nico emerges, and just like that, it's 9-1 in favor of G2. Seems that Nico will take the defuse there. Often people will allow the AWPer to do the defuse just for that bonus money, but I mean, they're both in a very good situation, so it doesn't particularly matter.
It's a lot of money to go around for G2. They're up 9-1 at this point. And that was one of the closest rounds that Heroic has gotten to, at least on a gun round. And Nico just with the long rotation to heaven, that is just so unexpected. And you can see that Sound at the very last second just turned away, thought there's no way at this point that the hit will be coming from that position. Hasn't been given any information whatsoever. But that's when Nico strikes. Good nade damage outside, and this is what Launders was talking about. Nico towards outside by himself, doing it all on his own, is able to find that opening pick that's massive, and they should be able to hear some of these players running towards lower.
Storm will take the chance with the reload to quickly slink downstairs. And now there is significant position for Heroic as far as B is concerned. Armanek on the low ground, and he will be joined by Nexa, who starts to go deep, but with so many players here for Heroic, he could be in trouble. He'll go to a defensive position. Control has been taken control of by the likes of Heroic, and down goes Armanek. It will be an interesting... Oh, hold on a second. Nexa haven't considered him, almost getting the multi-frag, but not quite. Storm messes things up in the vent, and suddenly the retake is on. 2-on-2. Nico still alive, 14 for 5. Nico and Hunter, the big fraggers in this game for G2. Oh, the men that Heroic must deal with. A flashbang easily avoided. Hunter being careful as he makes his way down to Decon, and Shush is eliminated. That leaves Refresh 1 versus 2, but that bomb is ticking faster and faster. Someone needs to get on it. Nico holding angles towards the double doors here as Refresh looks to emerge, and it's too late now. I think he's done enough to get this round for his team. Indeed, he has. Refresh. Finally, Heroic with a second round on the board on the T side of Nuke.
Finally, Heroic have broken the seal. You can see that there's a little bit of a sigh of relief from their camp, but they have to build upon that. A fast lower play netted them great post-plant positioning, but it still came down to the 1v1. So we'll see if G2 are able to figure out what Heroic is doing in this round. There was great rotations from G2, and they were so cautious about coming down vent. I think that's one thing that really struck me in the previous round, that Hunter seemed to be aware of it and still winning the fight. But Heroic, they change up the pace here. Refresh is already out on the A-bomb site. Flashes are here to support him, but Armanek takes him down. And now Heroic, they call for the reroute. They go down the vent. Once again, they have position towards lower, but Nex is already here to meet them. The Molotov is out. It's doing significant damage. And Armanek, again, is able to take down Cadian. I think that was towards ramp, perhaps. And Heroic, they're dropping like flies at this point. They may get the bomb down, but there is not any personnel to defend it.
I think Shush was just spotted by Hunter. Just the back of him. Hunter salivating the kill here. We'll see if Shush is able to turn in time. Not on this occasion. Storm 1 versus 5. Got a smoke to work with, but the wrong angle, unfortunately. There'll be no kills for Heroic in this round. G2 move to double figures. A very strong CT side indeed. And Heroic could have the same once they move to the CT side. But they need more than 2 rounds. Otherwise, they are completely dependent on the pistol. They have a potential for 5. That bomb plant is crucial. They could buy here. They kind of need all the remaining rounds. They can't really afford to skip this one because they might be light on grenades. So we'll see if there is a fast play here. If a Galil comes out for more grenades. The AKs continue. Shush indeed will he'll have to pick up some grenades. Could have had the AK and no grenades at all. Anyway, we've got a barrage of grenades in towards the main position, but still Nico gets the kill. Jack's here as well. Nico continues to try and deliver, rings the bell, but Shush is alive with 12 HP. Armanek popped. The correct response from Heroic. They had to make a fast play. Nexa falling down. Can't get the accuracy though. Landing and accuracy will be a problem for him. Seemed like he may have had the jump on the players. Now, see what Jax's options are. 1 versus 3. 2 players extremely low. The bomb is planted on the B bomb site. So we'll see if he goes for it. AWP is very out of position as far as the bomb site is concerned.
Wow.
And there is a 3rd round for Heroic.
Got the headshot too. Jax is really on point with this aim. And it doesn't feel like right now that Heroic are finding any success with anything other than these quick plays. It's what they've tried now for 3 rounds in a row. So G2, they may read that moving forward. They may just do a full utility dump at the common choke points to try to slow Heroic down, because in the late mid-round situations where players are guessing where their opponents are, it does feel like G2 is getting the better of Heroic in many of those kinds of circumstances. And so you will see that there is quite a bit of utility to stop any sort of door play, but Heroic don't seem very interested in door this round. There's the singular player in Cadian towards outside, almost gets the kill on Omnic, but the main hit is towards ramp.
Yeah, Heroic really trying to abuse their numbers in positions now. Nico continuing to just delete Heroic players round after round. Gives G2 a 5 versus 4. There are angles to be dealt with here by Heroic, and they will do for the start. Next has been here in plenty of rounds towards the B bomb site, and this time they're ready for him. 4 versus 5 for Heroic as they try to storm 5 rounds. Even a 4th would be good, the way this half has gone. Bomb planted now. Jack's got to be careful about the spray. Very close to the smoke is Jax. Knows his angles, but not quite making it there. Little light damage on Storm. He won't respond. Jax is showing plenty of presence, which, if G2 are to save, will at least slow down a hunt. Nico still creeping around, though. But indeed, Heroic are... These are desperately needed rounds for Heroic moving into the CT side. Again, they could entirely have a strong half, as we have seen from G2, but these rounds are crucial to build upon.
Yeah, Heroic just staying grouped, trying to hit hard, strong, and fast. And KDN, a little bit of misdirection towards outside. Actually, seems like it might have pulled a rotation additional to Nico, which made that ramp hit so much more effective, because usually it would be Omanek that will aid Nexa in that kind of play towards ramp, or that kind of hold towards ramp. But this time around, it looked like Nexa had to just give up the space immediately. And we'll see Hunter is on the Nova. Does not matter how beneficial that kill reward is. This is the weapon that he is choosing in this round to try to defend with. Interesting choice, interesting option, but we've seen how effective it can be around that hut spot, and Nico is looking for a cheeky play. That's a nice flash to set him up, but Heroic, they're waiting right behind the smoke. Does Nico see it? He does! The lineup's there, and he's able to take down 2. He has been a menace towards outside this game.
Absolutely instrumental in a lot of opening frags, Nico. Still now on the flank. Is anybody going to watch this? Oh. That's got to be an accident. He's completely conceded his position by mistake. That's very strange. Omanek fortunate in that respect. I mean, he was turning around anyway, it looks like. Very aware of what he's not covering, but that's got to be frustrating for Stone. Maybe a issue with his mouse there. We'll see if they can bring a 5th round into the end of this half. Heroic. A man down at present. There are advantages to be had for G2. Now, it's going to be difficult for KDN to be effective before the bomb is planted again. He may have to walk into angles just like that, and Armanek's ready for it. The luxury of the CT side. Now they've got a 4 versus 2. That Nova still waiting to announce its presence.
Heroic have made their way down lower. Looks like they will be playing out the post plant. Now Refresh has revealed his position with that Molotov to cover the vent rotation. And Stown's holding his ground towards ramp. That's a great kill to start things off. Well-placed headshot. And it's just Stown and Refresh. A very needed 5th round on the line here. And he continues to reposition. Nico still believes Stown might be here, so he's really taking his time with this one. The flashes are there. Hunter with the Nova actually gets a dink on a Stown. That's so much damage with the shotgun, and he actually finishes the kill on top of that. It's just Refresh in the 1v3 at this point. He has to find these kills quickly, and Omanek puts an end to any dream of a 5th round for Heroic. The defuse is there, and G2 find 11.
But Heroic found 4, and that might just be enough for them to mount a defense on the CT side. First comes the pistol, and that's after the break. Stay tuned. Heroic may have won enough late rounds to give themselves a good chance at things here on the CT side of Nuke. We see many a dominant CT half, but first comes the all-important pistol. On G2 CT side, they were able to take it. Can Heroic do the same?
We'll find out. Just one set of utility for the defense, though, of Heroic will make this any easier. And some misdirection to start things off for G2. They blow open the door. There's already a player in the vent in Cadian, and he might be locked out of this round if G2 do decide, but no! Cadian with 2 knives! Actually, he's building up the cash right here, and he falls back. Such a cheeky angle.
Again, and it makes complete sense as well. It is basically a right-click if you are underneath someone like that. You don't even need to be facing them. You could be standing on someone's head and they could be looking straight forward and you could still right-click them. It's very strange and very effective. He's given himself an AWP in the next round, I think, if he wants it. Should they win this round, of course. This is still doable for G2. Nexa has rescued the bomb. Got himself a 1v1 on the A bomb site. Patient shots, but he can't quite make that headshot connection. Well then, that's one way to start. Heroic. 5 rounds on the board. Cadian 6,400 in round 2.
Yeah, you can see how serious the look on the faces of the Heroic players are, despite how comical the beginning of that round may have seemed. They know it's all business from this point forward. And Cadian, I mean, he's done some great things with the knife.
That's a legit strat.
Yeah.
It's completely legit.
It is. It's a good way to play it. But that will actually allow him a second round op. And with just pistols, G2 will be flooding the ramp position. It's Tessus to defend, and he may have a chance to rack up a lot of cash himself.
They'll know that Cadian has an AWP in this round. There's going to be no doubt about that.
Oh,
Dominic, Super Mario Brothers, Tech 9 headshot. Thank you for playing. Insert coin to continue. So diffuse kit dropped on the ramp, and we can see none of the other players have a diffuse kit, so that is something to keep an eye on. In the meantime, we've got CTs making their way towards the double doors. That's a great HE grenade. But even better spray from the more well-equipped Heroic players. How about that, though, from Hunter? Hold on a second. Up close now with the Tech 9. Has he got the angle? Not quite, not on this occasion. Shush will stop the bleeding. AWP still alive for Heroic. A very expensive round, but a successful one nonetheless.
That could have been really scary. If Shush fell right there and Cadian had to retake with the AWP, I don't like his chances at that point. That becomes very worrisome, and it would have been a blessing in disguise for G2 that he picks that gun up. But Heroic weather the storm. Although there were some great entries on the G2 side, they will likely have to save in this round here. Hunter was so quick with it in this one. He is so scary in every single situation. Haven't really had to talk about him too much this series yet, but he is standing really tall here on Nuke.
Cadian doesn't hold control to drop for a teammate. Sort of AWP switch hands and go back. Big exchange of grenades and headshots on the ramp position, and surely they storm into the B bomb site. This is a big opportunity to plant the bomb. Only 3 of the players have got Kevlar here. Actually, Storm's already ready to shut them down. They don't know if anybody else is here. There's a smoke to create some space. And G2 continue to spread on the B bomb site. Right, Zerg army is creep. No bomb plant for you, says Storm. Incendiary to limit what G2 can do to respond. How about this? He's got the luxury of an ecoing team to dismantle one by one. 15 bullets in the magazine. Not sure if anybody's behind this plant spot. He'll be careful. Has support if it is required. There's a peek from Nico. Nothing to be done there. And Heroic have started off very, very well on their CT side, I think it's fair to say. Especially, I mean, yes, the last round was expensive. They survived with 4. They had AWP round 2, so it's all good in the hood, really.
You could see Stown was a little frustrated. He didn't get the ace right there. He was about 1 bullet away from making it happen.
You could see the YouTube video coming.
Exactly. It was a well put together one, too. Wasn't too brazen or anything. He actually managed the situation incredibly well and made it relatively inexpensive, despite how scary that could have been for Heroic. But G2 will finally be on a gun round here in this half. We'll see what plans they have in store for us. And Nico, very quick towards outside. The smokes are there to protect Cadian, actually. And they might not know that he is here just yet. Nico seems to have a suspicion, but there's a flash right on the face of Cadian. Amanek finds yet another entry. That's 3 rounds in a row that he has found entries. We'll see if G2 is able to convert this one. And Nico actually decides to swap out his rifle for an AWP. Could find a pick if he takes that towards outside, as Stown has dug himself deep into this big garage.
It's a garage, actually.
UK garage.
Let's not forget how instrumental Nico was outside on the CT side, getting the kills and so on. And we'll see if Heroic have a star that can shine as brightly on their team. Storm creeping, getting there eventually onto Hunter. And there's a response from Nico, in fact. That's a big headshot from Jackson. The fortunes of Heroic are starting to dwindle now. Money's not great for them. So this could be a, well, it is already a big issue for Heroic. 29 seconds though. We know that G2 like a late round, and perhaps in that there is a chance for Heroic.
Oh, there's so little time. 20 seconds. Refresh. Oh, the bomb is going right to Refresh too. This could be everything. He's going to find this kill. Finds both. That should be the round right there. There's 10 seconds left. Nico has an op. He finds the kill on a Refresh. All Tessus has to do is not move a muscle. Don't even breathe at this point, and you've got this round. He actually swings anyways to deny the bomb plant. Be sure about it. And Jax, he's nowhere to be found. He is still towards lobby at this point, and Heroic steal one away despite a massive advantage from G2. You can see Cadian is fired up.
This is the problem with those really late rounds, is that if something goes wrong, you don't have the time to correct it. Case in point. I saw it coming like about 25 seconds on a clock like this. There's a chance this could happen, and indeed it did. TeSS ready to claim that round, and Heroic are given a chance because they were in such a bad spot there in terms of their economy and so on. G2 pulling towards 16, but now everything has changed. G2's economy is in the bin. It's a jumble sale buy from them, a thrift store, if you will.
Nico trying to find a one-way there. But this is not the first time that the clock has been the enemy of G2 on the T side in this series. And you have to wonder, when you go that slowly, what advantage do you hope to find by dwindling the remaining time on that clock? Whether it's a push from the CTs or some added information, it's not always worth it when you have such a heavy lead in terms of personnel. And it just amplifies the amount of things that can go wrong for you. And so G2, they're trying to make a little bit of a sprint towards outside. Jax might try to find something here towards lobby or towards upper, but Shush is able to quiet him there. And a flawless round from Heroic. They are definitely in this series at this point.
Yeah, that's a big window of opportunity lost by G2, and again, Heroic's momentum continues. G2 without a round in this half just yet. And you can see on the cameras what that round meant to Heroic. That may spur them on and give them the confidence to really push forward and take this to a third map of Mirage now. 16-11 in favor of G2 on Inferno. That was the first map of our series. I was wondering if we were heading towards a 2-0, but Heroic have a lot to say about that at present. Very fast smokes outside, the wall of smoke. But what is there behind it? You can see Nico again, he's hunting, looking for an entry. Counter flash in the smoke, doesn't pull the trigger though. Continues to fish outside, looking at all the usual places. And he has help from his teammates. Not quite spotted by Cadian as they make their way downstairs. 3 players with the bomb in tow around a lobby towards A. So what the ultimate intentions are for G2, not quite clear just yet.
Refresh in a prime position to stop this lower push. That's a great flash to get him off the angle. Nico swings before the flash even pops, and he catches Refresh out. That is a lone defender towards B, but TeSS has made this rotation, but will he get into position in time? Amanek doesn't swing, so TeSS is actually allowed some space here. But G2, like you said, James, there's a chance that they might not even end up towards B despite the control that they have. Although Amanek finding that second kill, you almost feel like if you're G2, you have to go towards B at this point. Heroic haven't even rotated down lower just yet. They're just holding their ground, knowing that G2 are disconnected at this point. This is, again, a very awkward round for G2 that they're going to have to try to make up. So Shush tucks himself into the cubby, the corner of ramp, and he gets 2 kills. 20 seconds remain. The bomb is still at ramp. it should be able to get down lower, but Stown, he might be the hero in this round. If he speeds up just a little bit, there's a chance he can catch this bomb off. And there are 12 seconds left. G2 keep pushing the limits of this clock. Will it come back to bite them? Stown decides not to strike just yet, but he's still able to take down Amanek.
Surely he's got to wait for Cadian now. You can see him showing presence, but maybe a little too much. That leaves Cadian 1 versus 2. Open the doors and a close. Open doors and closed again. Oh, God. Nico takes one. Don't give him too much opportunity. You never know. Cadian, will it be after the fact? No, he's able to escape from the HG grenade. And there is a round for G2. Very nervous to watch, especially if you're a fan. The slow style is so nerve-tingling to witness. But there is finally the first round on the second half for G2 as they put the deficit back to 3 once again. But Heroic have built money in these rounds prior.
There's a lot of moving parts in these G2 rounds right now. It's really hard to execute this kind of just complicated play style. They're making it work in that round, but you can see how it came back to bite them just a few rounds prior when they ran out of time. Now Nico, though, he's speeding things up towards Secret here. Stown definitely hears this, and it looks like Nico's just ready for the challenge on a refresh. That's a huge opener for Nico. That is why he is such a deadly force. He can do it in the late round or the early round. And a huge hole now in the Heroic defense. How will they rotate off of this?
Looks like Nico's outplaying Refresh in this lower area with these secret entries. A wealth of experience versus a young lad, perhaps. SS is here to deliver 2, and Shush will clean up the rest of them. And that leaves Nico 1 versus 3 with not much health to do it with. They know where he was, but do they know where he is, or how much of an estimate do they have on that? He will have opportunity for 1v1s. Heading towards the ladder. He has picked the right door in that respect. We have a rotation down, Secret looking for him as he heads towards the bomb. Cadian starting to wonder now if he could be behind him. 40 seconds on the clock. And again, Cadian holding down 2 jobs here, having to 180, and he'll eat a headshot from Nico. Has to press on now. He knows there are 2 remaining players, will be rotating quickly, but he'll look to dispose of the AK, in fact. AWP, rather. Go back for his AK and maybe do some more damage. 19 seconds now, 34 HP. He will not be trying to clutch the round, as we can see. I think he's looking for CTs maybe to rotate and try and rescue Cadian's AWP.
Yeah, might be able to inflict a little bit of extra damage. That would be huge. And Stown makes noise, but Nico won't be able to find him. Great recovery from Heroic in that round. That setup towards ramp between Tessus and Shush was perfect. To tuck Shush into that tight corner while Tessus holds the line with the AUG, there's just no way if you're G2 that you'll see this coming. Maybe one guy to your right at most, usually in a situation like that. But for there to be 2, it's almost always going to be overlooked. So credit to Heroic there for a picture-perfect rotation and setup.
Hero AK for G2. Pistols here and there, and that hero is at half health. Maybe some lag on a spectator server, but that doesn't mean that it's on the game server itself. So it could be routing to the Go TV. Not too much to worry about just yet. We'll see what on earth is going on. Hey, the connection problem sign looks more modern. Has that been updated?
Yeah, it kind of has a weird different outline.
Yeah, it looks more polished.
Yeah,
Kind of like it.
that's interesting.
Kind of like it.
Oh, I think we're back though. I think we might.
Oh, we are indeed. Marvelous.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes that happens with the Go TV server every once in a blue moon. But the round continues and Refresh comes through on the back. He has a tower of humanity to deal with, and he will with ease, leaving Nexa alone. Heroic continue their comeback. Closing the gap on G2 to just the 1 round. That was an eco from G2. The money is around the corner, and that corner has been turned, so Heroic will have more defending to do. They've won 2 rounds by a timeout so far, Heroic. There's been 1 bomb plant in a round that Heroic has won. So G2 have got a lot of work to do here on this T side.
Yeah, this has not been the best T side coming out from G2 thus far. And that's to put it nicely. So far, Heroic have just done a great job in order to catch out the late round plays from G2. Even if G2 are finding these openings, it's still up to them to convert any advantage in position or personnel that they have. But Heroic have done such an excellent job at recognizing what those kinds of opportunities look like for G2 and stopping them right in their tracks. So, this time around, Tessis, normally the ramp player, will make his way towards Secret, and he's looking for the contest. Although Nico won't give it to him just yet. Tessis decides to hold the angle. It's a very heavy emphasis on lower, it looks like, for Heroic in this round. But it's actually a trap setup, a bait, perhaps, towards outside, as Heroic are not really fighting any of these angles. But G2 do their due diligence. That's a great one-way for Tessis, as he can peer over this and hopefully find a freebie as G2 approach.
Big flashbang, but how do you find the player with all these smokes? It requires risk, and it's Nico, of course, with another entry. Had so many on the CT side, and we can see in exchange, we have Cadian downstairs instead. He puts a molly down immediately, and a HE behind it. He will play the spot differently to refresh, and maybe that'll make the difference on this occasion.
Oh, but the time.
They've got the numbers, though. They're trying to run boost here. I think it was just boosting to have a look towards double doors. 17 seconds to get a bomb plant, and Cadian, again, on an island on his own, just couldn't get around the corner in time. So there'll be a bomb plant, 5 versus 3, and Heroic look to be backing away. Only 3 players, they have lost position, of course, and they'll have to give this one to G2. A rare round in this second half for the T side of G2.
Oh. Great kill from Stown to exercise some self-preservation there. It's really important that Heroic keep these players alive. They're not going to have too much money to work with moving forward, so every gun is incredibly valuable. But G2, man, they make you sweat. In those kinds of moments, there's 10 seconds left planting the bomb. If there's one person on those lower bomb site rafters that can just swing out and stop that, the round is done and dusted. So, credit to G2 for sticking with the plan, though. They really bring it down to the wire every single time, it feels like, in this half.
Let's have a look at the CT economy. Even if G2 continue losing rounds but doing some damage, when we get to those clutch rounds, and we're almost there already, one eco could spell curtains for Heroic in this series. They are 1-0 down at the moment. And they'll take a timeout, maybe to have a renewed focus in that respect. Cadian's got 4,100 in the hole, but the same could not be said for everyone. He hasn't bought any grenades yet, by the way. Tessis, $800. Refresh, $100. Storm, $50. This is post-buy. But again, if Heroic are to lose at this point in the game, then that could be the match.
Yeah, this might be the most important round of this game, of this series, perhaps. If Heroic are able to win it, build that economy, definitely have a fighting chance. They've looked strong on this CT side, but if G2 can finally, for the first time this half, string 2 together, that should break Heroic moving forward. And Nico, man, he's so scary. Even just spamming through the smoke right there, he's right on Stown.
Yeah.
It is so worrying. You can't really pull anything on Nico. He's so aware, and Cadian misses an opportunity.
Nico, 27 kills. It is no surprise that he is close to the 30 bomb, and indeed a little strafing there from Cadian, I think, before firing the shot. Heroic holding on to some util for now, as Cadian makes his way quietly into the vent to rotate that AWP. Interested in his approach downstairs. Nico again just looking to be a problem on the outside. You can see Refresh in a very forward position. Nico making plenty of sound. That will be heard. See him jiggling there, knows his angles. 44 seconds on the clock again. Now we've got to push into the A bomb site, so he's trying to pull players away. Nice headshot from Shush, but he has to do more. Got some support on the high ground as G2 continue to stream in, but the numbers are dwindling now for G2. A key round for them to win doesn't look likely anymore as Armanek is outside. 1 versus 4, 30 seconds on the clock, and it'll be just the 1 kill. A close to perfect round for Heroic. 4 players alive, exactly what they needed.
That was a really great call from G2, but just an even better hold on the site. Shush staying alive behind the silo, getting the kills that he needs to, and keeping Heroic in this one. Cadian was able to find Nico to kick things off, but really, Shush there behind the silo. The fact that he never gets caught in those kinds of situations is massive. So G2, they will call their own tactical timeout at this point. They still have a lot of money to work with, so really any play that they could draw up can be run in this situation, but you can see that G2, they know this game is getting close. They felt like they were in prime control of it earlier on, but Heroic are, they're definitely here to play.
Very, very tense stuff now. It's G2 who start to get short of money. Very tight game of Nuke, dominated by CT rounds. Dominated in parts by Nico, but if G2 don't win the round, then what is the story there? Good effort, but not enough, really. There is a significant gap in these smokes which can be dealt with. And the proximity of that smoke will be telling for Heroic. They know there are players making their way down. And it's Tesses on this occasion who rotates on the low ground. Now, will there be a flank? There can often be a lurker further back on the team outside, and in this case it is Nexa. In case there is a flank from Heroic, that's what that man is there to deal with. G2 looking to abuse the numbers game and trade frag towards B. Again, Tesses alone. With the different looks we've seen from Heroic, Cadian, Refresh, there'll be utility usage. They will show presence, but one nade at a time. So it's not clear how many players are downstairs for Heroic.
G2 made a couple of footsteps down lower, but Nico's been doing this practically every round, so Heroic may not be able to figure out how many players are towards the lower side at this point. Tesses is here, but he is the only defense for Heroic. Molly may be sent his way. In fact, there's two to cut off the rotations, so it's all onto Tesses to try to find some frags here, give his team a chance on the retake, but he's given up his position. Amanek takes him down. Cadian's able to find Nico, but there's still that lurk outside, but will it even come to fruition? Nexa doesn't look like he'll be contested, as a matter of fact. The entire retake is coming from ramp, and Cadian is just picking players off one by one.
How's he got two picks from this position? That's a huge problem for G2. Now we've got the numbers from the ramp. Down goes Hunter, 1-for-1, not enough on this occasion. Armanek, though, here with the multi-frag, leaving Cadian to commit. 1 versus 2. The no-scope from Cadian, but where on earth is Nexa? He's got no idea. That bomb is far ticked. There's a molly on it as well. There's no smoke for Cadian. He's going to stand in the flames, and he just can't defuse it in time.
Oh, wow. What an attempt by Cadian there. As close as it could be. But Nexa playing the long game. The molly secures the round as Cadian has no smoke. And finally, Heroic, they're broken, they're bruised, but they're not out of it. They still have some money to work with, but this was just such a tight hold. I can't believe Cadian got that much done on the retake with the op. That is G2 just gifting him a couple, but him hitting some unbelievable shots. That no-scope into the emo dark position is what was crazy. I thought at that point there was a world. And Cadian continues it.
Yeah, he has to do even more in this round. They have less to work with, and they require more now, as G2 are 2 rounds away from the match. You can see them just trying to spread the wealth, what little they have here. The double FAMAS. We have a 4-on-4 situation, though. One of these teams is going to be broke after this round. It just gets tighter and tighter as we get deeper into this game of Nuke, and Refresh is going to take matters into his own hands as he pursues. Sound cue from Jax. That's enough for him. Don't want to be too greedy with it. They know that lobby's been compromised, G2, so how do they convert this round at this point? They know that the CTs have information of where they aren't, which gives them a good read on where they are. They could still head towards either bomb site. But with the man disadvantage as well, this is very steep for G2 to climb.
Low HP on the remaining G2 players in Nico and Amanek. They do have safe passage towards lower, although Cadian is here. He's been so hot in this game thus far. Had a quiet Inferno, but I think it's safe to say he's on fire at this point, and he continues as he takes down Nico and just barely even falls back. Still here to contest, takes down Nexa, and now it's just Amanek 6 HP, a dream at this point, and he's just trying to get rid of the op. Trying to do some economic damage, perhaps, to Heroic, but Heroic, they're securing their 13th round at this point.
Yeah, that's a solid play from Cadian. Happy to die there with 2 of the 3 kills because it puts his team in a very winnable position. A 3 versus 1 is absolutely fine. Armanek will hold on to the AWP. A hero sniper, perhaps, in this round as G2 have a 1-round lead. They need to wait for the 4-buy in the next round. Unless they want to force around the AWP, do something crazy. But that would be quite terrifying to watch. There'll be a tactical timeout from G2, so we'll see what their offering will be. Very close game of Nuke now, and it just gets more and more intense as if one team gets wiped out, they would be completely broke, but they've got some weapons, and they make things happen. We can see, well, I can see a light investment. Pistols around the AWP. Almanek looks likely to be the only man with Kevlar, so that means he's the best man to take a fight, absorb the odd bullet, and land a fatal blow. So he will carry the AWP. As we know, he is a dab hand with it. Very capable. Moves into a very aggressive position. Oh, almost saw a lick of someone, but I don't think he actually did. Maybe he did. Hard to tell sometimes with the X-ray, but he is laser focused on this position. But he still has a cross. So he's got this far with no result, and the remainder may be a little awkward for the squad.
Oh, Cadian turns away, but looks back in time, and Almanek held the line, found down, and he's actually snuck into a pretty deep position here. There's a lot of pressure on Cadian at this point, but Hunter elsewhere is able to find one. That's a big frag, and now Heroic are so scattered at this point, they have to try to put together the pieces of where G2 is.
There's the bomb drop. That's a big objective collected by Heroic in a tense round. 50 seconds remain. That trajectory is telling for Armanek. If there are more jump peaks, then that could be problematic for Heroic. It's all about Hunter trying to find something. Tessus has himself an angle. Oh my god, that timing is absolutely ridiculous and very costly indeed. 35 seconds, and this is doable, and Org is a huge pickup as well. Both teams have a crossfire, but it's the G2 crossfire that is disabled. Now Armanek could hold on to this AWP for the next round, otherwise his money's going to be in a weird spot. Looking to maybe try and clutch this one late on though, as he walks into a crossfire, and it'll be Cadian to finish off the job and collect the AWP. 14 apiece.
These rounds are so close, but Heroic, they're staying on top. It's a 14-14 scoreline. It's all tied up. And right now, Heroic, they feel like they have the momentum in this game. A couple of really costly timings to turn away for Heroic, but they still just managed to hold on. And at this point, G2, they call their final tactical timeout. They're wondering what play they could possibly go to at this point. And so far, they've had some success towards ramp in finding the pick, especially when they were on Tech 9s and pistols. They've gotten down lower effectively a handful of times, but Heroic, they're really good in these late round situations. If G2 give them just an inch, it feels like Heroic can take all that ground back.
Well then, the rounds become more and more impactful. Will it be game point? Will it be match point? Cadian by the main position. No one taking any crazy risks early. Hunter's spot can be naded from heaven, by the way. Through the glass. In the middle of the rafters. Minute 20, I'm guessing. Pretty much, yep. And the grenades for the wall of smoke outside are deployed. We have Heroic already in the secret position. See, Storm's angle has been taken away from him. So maybe Heroic will have to reposition outside. Hunter keeping an eye on things. Will there be a flash for Storm to peek, or will it be dry? He chooses to fall back, in fact. 1 minute on the clock. They know that G2 are not shy for a late round, and with numbers alive for Heroic, they can force some mistakes later on. There's a tease of a headshot for Cadian, but he has to force his way into this round from somewhere else.
Always push back off of the angle. G2, they're making their way down secret. Once again, very low time, and Nico just charges through the molly. That's a desperation play, and Sound's able to stop him right there. And there's a smoke as well. G2 are halted at lower at this point. There's so little time left, and the lurk towards lobby has been called out by Refresh. There's not a lot for G2 to do at this point. They might have to opt for the save. It's either a desperation play or just keep those guns alive, and it looks like they will choose the latter.
Not working out this time. Like Heroic's risk aversion. Just moving away from the stairs a secret. Oh, they're going in for it as well. Oh, hold on a second.
Wow.
Well, I think that one is profitable. The AWP is in the hands of Shush, so they will make things even worse for G2, and you can see the hype. Great timing, great spatial awareness from Heroic as they move to game points.
And there's so little money now on those players that Heroic took out there. These kills were so important. Refresh with the double kill after time runs out means that Hunter is on nothing but a Tech 9. Omenek has a P250 and a smoke. This is a nearly broke buy for a couple of the players on G2. This round feels like it's all in favor of Heroic, but still, G2, they always go into a round with a plan. They're never counting themselves out before the round is completely over.
Yeah, the fact that we may see something unorthodox could have a part to play in this as well. From a G2 perspective, how on earth are they going to make something potentially work in this round? Fishing with the P250. Saying hello towards the ramp, but we can see where the main focus is. So Nico will be coming in the rear with the Galil. Initial grenades into the A-bomb site. Refresh flying for now. The chain flashes are here, but the kills are certainly not. And again, credit to Heroic for what they did at the end of the last round. Still a chance for G2. Nico, 1 versus 4. Got himself an M4A4. 2 players in heaven. Trying to limit the space now. 40 seconds left. Nico in the clutch. Because his Storm is on the downstairs area. Down the ladder. Nico creeping around his own smoke, but how far can he really go here? He does not have the bomb, and that clock is ticking. The chances are so low here, and indeed, they're reduced to 0 by Heroic. 16-14, a masterclass in attention to detail towards the end there, taking the weapons away, and it will have to be done in 3 by both these teams.
That is a massive win for Heroic. They are fired up at this point, and G2, they felt like they had that game, this series, in the palm of their hands, but they could not close it out.